welcome to another episode of the Profit Point Show, where we talk about investment and business in general. Today we don't be an exception. We're going to start over the stock market segment, where we talk about the gainers and losers as of the close of day on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and we talk about the MPC results and meeting results rather, some corporate results that also came into the market, and how you can invest profitably in this economy and in the stock market. All of this after the break. And also don't forget that we have the business segment and the sectorial segment. Today we will be talking to a movie producer and talk about our glamorous or the business aspects of movie production and how to be a producer. All of this after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still the Profit Point Show, and this is the stock market segment. I have in the studio, as usual, my able analyst, investment analyst, Bruce Omodian. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm very fine.
That's good. I like this your tie. Is this the stock market?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for coming on board.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start up with the gainers and losers. So yesterday, May and Baker actually topped the gainers chart, gaining 10%. Eternal Oil followed suit. Flour Mill, Mansard Insurance, and Transcorp. Those were the top 5 gainers. And the top 5 losers, we had Trans Express, ABC Transport, Cornerstone Insurance, USC Property, and Oando. All right, those were the top 5 losers. So, how was the market yesterday, though? Up or down?
The market was up yesterday, and
Okay.
it was a good one.
Okay.
The buying interest in the market has also improved. I call it a post-NPC, bargain hunting. Because before the MPC meeting, that the previous week, there was a profit taking. People were panicking, whether the MPC will adjust rate up or down. But actually, we told them on our platform that we don't expect, the MPC committee to adjust anything for now. Because if you look at where we are coming from, if already the GDP for third quarter has subsided from negative 6.1 to about negative 3.6 something, that we see that the economy has started finding a little recovery that need to be sustained. Taking the MPC down or MPR down, we also look at inflation already that is high. When you adjust down, there will be more money in circulation. That also fire the inflation that is already up, and adjusting it up also like stopping what we are adjusting, because liquidity is what we need to drive the economy. Anywhere in the world, when there is recession, the government has to spend out. I call it a especially budget. You need to spend more to come out of recession. But for me, I see that the decision for MPC to leave on change of their MPC instrument, the MPR, which is around 11.5, the liquidity ratio at 30, and the other one, which is the cash reserve around 27.5. For me, it's okay. Only that between now and the next MPC, let's see how it's going to play out, how the economy will expand. Well, actually, from what we are seeing, also we are forecasting that at the end of this fourth quarter of the year, we expect that the economy will improve. That means subsequently we'll come out of this recession if all things being equal and government had to spend more. Now, if they can pass the 2021 budget on time, because in the past a year and 2 years, we have changed our budget planning between January to December, which we can say kudos to the government. That means before the end of December, budget for 2021 is out, and they start spending it early in 2021. I see that by first quarter of 2021, we should come out from this, recession. We should have a growth. Either the growth is 0 point something, but in first quarter of 2021, we should have a growth.
Amen, brother. All right, the gainers and losers. Anything peculiar here, or is just action of?
If you look at the top gainer for yesterday, the Mia Baker. That sector, the healthcare has enjoyed a form of incentive from the government, and also the vaccine discovering here and there. About more than 3 companies have said they are almost at 99% conclusion of the vaccine production, and they are effective. I expect that our own local healthcare to also have input. And don't forget that Our healthcare sector also have signed agreements with the federal government to produce some vaccine, releasing malaria vaccine for Nigeria, like really the me and Baker. I see that that is what's impacting on that sector. If you also look at the result that emanated from the healthcare sector, they are standing because government are giving them even some loan that is below 2 digits interest about single. For me, I see potential in that sector. You can see as reflected here. Me and Baker leading the pack is not surprised because the numbers for third quarter was impressive, and also expectation that since they have agreement with government to produce vaccine, there's still opportunity for them to have more business, and that, for me, it's a good one. For internal, it's just low price attraction. This is going to have hit about 6 naira. This just rally and it drop low around 4 something. Naturally, investor will take advantage of the pullback and take position. But also I've said on this program that since there is a little adjustment in fuel price, it's going to impact on the margins of this company in that sector, especially those that has inventory already before the markup. That means you are selling the one you have already at a high price, and for that it's going to reflect on that. For that, people also, that is why every investment is against expectation. People are also thinking that going forward we should see better number from that sector because of the marginal increase in price. We're going to reflect on their number. I think people are also taking position.
Well, you have to go by your explanation. Now you wonder why Wando is here.
Okay.
But I would have expected that if that is the case, Wando should also be able to ride.
I was rallying from almost 270 to 4 naira. This one is the profit taking. The first time I moved from 250 to 4 naira, gain almost 30% last 2 weeks. What we're seeing no Wando is your profit taking. And people also play no Wando with a lot of caution because that company, you can't predict them.
Wando knows how to do your prediction. I'm telling you, I'm just looking at this price, Wando 271. I never thought, maybe 5-6 years ago, I never thought I would see Wando this price.
Okay.
When you got to 10 naira, this is so low, buy more. And when you see naira, this is the lowest. I'm like, Wando, can you just stop before you get 50 kobo or 10 kobo? That's just one stock that just.
That is one thing that
I don't know. It just has
I tell you that your assets at times does not justify your performance. You say they have assets, they've acquired Konoko, this one, acquired this one, there's process, everybody. Yes, even if projecting. Where the projection in over for stock like for Flower is understandable. The Q2 number was outstanding, and I said earlier that if you look at all those companies in the flower business, especially the Honeywell, Northern Nigeria, flour and the Flower Mill, their numbers were outstanding for second quarter, and that I tell you, investor will always, or the market will always treat you when you are doing well. When you are doing well, they will respond. And if you look at the result of Fcmv that came out yesterday, because the number were impressive, market reacted to it, and again almost 8% yesterday. Says that when you are doing well, they are bound to be positive response to your price.
Thank you very much. All right, let's look at some results that actually came into the market. Q3 results. This November, everybody's drumming up for end of the year results. We want to see your full year performance, for Q3, and many of them were banks. So UBN, that's Union Bank of Nigeria, gross earnings was up by 3.61%. 3.61% gross earnings was up, but profit after tax was marginally down 0.81%. Well, now I was telling you this morning that UBN Union Bank is obviously not part of the first year.
No. They are not part of it.
So I just look back and what happened? How did they get here? Because looking at their profit after tax, 15.07 billion. It's just slightly higher than Fcmv.
Yeah.
And this used to be a bank that competes with the likes of First Bank, Union Bank. And what came to my mind was a case of either things it stands should take E.
Yeah.
Because now GTB Zenith Access, anything can happen to anybody, so they should also be careful. But looking at this result, what do you have to say to that? Are you surprised that the profit after tax is
for Union Bank of Nigeria, the numbers is not surprising, and also where they are coming from. They've been dragging feet. Of recent they started paying dividends for 2019. That was the first of almost like 6 years. They paid 15 kobo, fine. But with this number of 0.52 earnings per share, we also expect that they likely pay dividend in a range of 20 to 25 kobo too. But the price at 7 naira, almost 6 naira, investors will be very careful. But the good thing is that the financial sector, let's say, is the main sector in the market that has the volume. People can do a lot of volume there, and they are marketable. The price stock in banking that are marketable. That's why any trader want to go to that sector to buy volume and sell volume, and that's why I just say, if a trader, there's that kind of stock you should not enter. There are stocks that you are the one buying, you are not moving price up. When you are selling, you'll be hooked. Nobody is speaking for you, and that is why as a trader, you look for those stocks that has volume and their stocks are marketable. At any time you want to put it for sale, it's already get a buyer. But for me, the way Union Bank is coming, if you look at also, I said it earlier that their technology is one of the best technology in the sector. They are coming up, but for me, see, like you just said, once you decide to do your things right, no matter how long it takes, for what I really like, get out. These are the companies like banks that were leading before, but the First Bank and Union Bank. But what they did then is what they are suffering for now. But thank God they're coming out of it. When you are giving bonus, you are enlarging your share, everything does change. But today, the first year banks have learned from the mistake of First Bank and the Union Bank. None of them is giving bonus of recent. Know that they are paying good dividend, and that cash dividend is better for them than enlarging their share in issue, and they are not increasing their performance to support the additional share created. Then for me, the first year banks have really come on, but I believe with time, Union Bank will come on. But those in first year bank also, they should also stand well and watch.
And watch, really. All right, GTB. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw the results. Gross earnings was down by 1.71%. Profit after tax was also down by 3.2%. What's going on there?
Yeah, like what I just said, if you look at the results from the banking sector, I would say their missed number and flat number from that sector. Only a few of them just a little outstanding. It shows that the banks are the one being hit by this economic crisis and all those economic meltdown, or what we call it, impact of coronavirus on the economy, because they are the one that led to the public. And when the people are not doing business, how would they pay back? And activities when the economy was shut down for me, the banks. If you look at it, I would say I wouldn't say I'm praising the bank for bringing this kind of result, because the economy is not friendly for the banking sector. But because of their, most of them have upped their risk management, it's not reflecting much. Even their non-performing loan is not alarming as expected. It shows that they have put checks and balance in their system. What have kept First Bank where it is for a long time is because of not having the risk, not having the proper risk management before now. But now First Bank are already coming out of all those stories and coming back powerfully. But I know the banks like Zenith Bank, GTB, Access Bank, UBA, in terms of risk management, those ones, they know that they don't want to fall back to what happened to other big banks and for that. I think for me, the result for GTB is not too bad, but only that, if you like you just say, it's not too encouraging.
It's not impressive. How is the stock? How did the market receive that?
The market treated them when the results came like this. I trust you, but after the MPC meeting, you can see that other banks are really moving, but it's not moving at that direction too. Even though people also at 36 naira, okay, there are some are cheaper that will pay good dividend. Why would not be better at 36 naira? It's market sentiment. But even before now, GTB have enjoyed market sentiment, because of their, how will I put it now, their shareholding structure, and now the numbers are not supporting the price as such. For me, investors have to be very careful. But in terms of dividend, don't panic. You're still going to get your dividend from banks like GTB because they are consistent in dividend payment. All
right, Access Bank, the swallowers of swallows. You know that when I saw UBN Bank, Union Bank result, and I looked at Access, like Access are just like swallowing up banks. No. I hope one day Access will not wake up and just swallow one of these First Bank.
It's possible.
It's possible. Because I just think Access Bank is just that bank that just like, I can swallow this jam.
Yes, now why? That's another thing for those guys. They are risk takers, and also they make moves.
They do really.
They make moves.
Bold ones.
Also, you can see their gross earnings for.
Yeah, it actually went up by 14.7%, and their profit after tax also went up by 15.7%, which is impressive. I mean, they took over a bank outside Nigeria not quite long. A few years they swallowed up them. Well, is it swallow or merger?
Anyone.
There's no diamond money.
Anyone, yes.
So, diamond is in Access now.
Yes.
So, and they're still here. Based on gross earning Q3, I think they have the highest gross earning
in the industry, and it's a sign that where they are going. Like as an investor, you also look at, yes, I know their bottom line is not too attractive compared to what Zenith Bank is posting, what GTB is posting, but their top line, is telling you where the bank is going. And if you're a long-term investor, you also guide you that, okay, going to the future, this bank will deliver. Can start taking long position in Access Bank. And also, I'll tell you, those guys are really, how will I put it, very strategic, and they are very smart.
And they are bold.
They are very smart, and if you are, invest in Access Bank, for me, there's no cause for alarm. If you're a long-term investor, even for short-term investor, you can look.
How much is Access now?
Access Bank is around 860.
8 naira 60 kobo.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's still low.
No, no. It's like, I'm saying that before the end of the year, or by first quarter, I should not also be like 14 naira, 13 naira, if the liquidity level was seen the market continue. Yesterday after the option for Treasury B, the rate crashed further low from 0.30 to 0.15. If that rate is crashing in the market, funds will be leaving for where they can get better yield. And also, if you look at the capital market as we speak now, the year-to-date return in the capital market is about 29.50, which is above inflation, almost 15% above inflation. That is really where you can earn, against inflation. That means there are a lot of opportunity in the capital market. If you are entering now, that will help you. And also, when there's inflation in the market, as the price of all goods are going up, capital market price also will go up. And that is why, if you are not investing in capital market, you have to also rethink, because if you don't have money to buy other things, but if your stock is going up, it's part of as an investor, you ask yourself, where am I? Am I in those investment windows that my return is already negative? With inflation going up, your return on that investment, whether the return is purely negative, and what are you going to do? It's better you go where you can hedge against inflation, at the same time, where the performance is above inflation. I said earlier, compare 29.53 to 14.23 for inflation. It's more than 15% above. That means there's opportunity. And also, we also say that capital markets or stock market is a leading indicator telling where the economy is going. If capital market is doing like this, it's a sign that the economy was bound. Remember when capital market in 2016, 2015 was coming down, it tells us that recession is around the corner. Because it was the leading. It was telling us market was going down before you knew it was already in a recession. Now that we're seeing capital market leading out, and that's why when I say we're likely to come out in first quarter, I can see it was if the leading indicator already tell you that things capital market is looking up, funds are likely to see improvement in the first quarter of 2021.
Okay, thank you, Ambrose. Fcmv Q3 2020 result, gross earning was held by 7.81%, and profit after tax was up by 28.84%. Okay, the profit after tax we're even talking about is 13.9 billion, which is like 2 billion lower than UBN's results. But of course,
they are second-tier banks.
Second-tier banks. FCMV had been second-tier, so it's not a demotion for it. It's the UBN that will be wondering, what are you doing there? Yeah. So in the midst of second-tier banks, if you have to compare FCMV, for instance, with Fidelity Bank is being the bank that's always never disappointed. Right.
So their number is also better if you look at what they've done for third quarter too. That's why the bank result, as I said, it was a miss and flat number. Most of the bank's results were.
But this is a good result. Yeah. I mean, 28.84%.
It's okay. No, FCMB, that bank has been so conservative, and when you have like a white man being the chairman of such company, what do you expect from those guys? They are so.
Don't be a racist.
No. Go and check all the company managed by Nigeria. Only few of them are up and doing. The rest one they manage underground, but only few. The banks will say, Nigeria banks will have Nigeria market and see they are doing well. Because of what? They are well regulated. That is why any foreign investor that want to invest in any country, especially in Nigeria, will also look at the banks, where he knows that these people are well regulated. My money will go down overnight. But look at other sectors where the banks are managing the company. You hear story, but look at others, where like company like Starbucks, look at something like Nigeria Brewery, Guinness, where you see white Nestle managing this.
Because who is managing this one?
I told you, I said because they are well regulated. They want, when you have a regulatory framework, you can't go outside of it.
Yeah, I think my point is, I don't think it's because of the skin tone.
No, the skin tone.
I think it's about the structure that's actually put in place. Because we can't say because the person is white, if the structure is not there, there's little or nothing the person can do.
No, the structure, I will tell you that all the companies being managed by white in Nigeria are different. Let's, for example, now, where is Afromedia today?
Who is Afromedia again?
Yeah, Afromedia. This is a company that came to raise money on the stage. Okay, where is Universal Insurance today? Where is a lot of companies that came to do private placement, but these are managed by Nigerians. But look at those ones I've mentioned. Look at Mobi. Look at Mobi. They just sold their own to Nigerians. What is that? These are good results from the banks. We'll see that going forward, the numbers are telling us that the banks are likely to pay dividend, even when we expect dividend cuts. Because I'm telling you, most of them will do dividend cuts, most of the banks. But those that want to do dividend equalization are likely to also to, because if you look at some banks as we are going forward, some banks are earnings that can support what they paid last year. Even as a third quarter, they are comfortable to pay what they did in 2019.
All right. Case in point, Zenith Q3 2020 gross earning went up by 3.6%. Profit after tax went up by 5.7%, marginally up, but it's not a bad result.
Yeah.
I mean, they were able to grow. Their profit after tax is about 159 billion. That's a lot. That's a lot. And if you have to compare, like you said about Access Bank's top line was about 500 and was more than Zenith, but profit after tax was way more than Access.
Yeah.
You know, I asked you that what's going on there. I mean, you have like the best top line, but your profit after tax is still shaky. And what you said was like because of all this swallowing and combination, maybe cost, maybe going forward. But good result from Zenith is not surprising.
No, Zenith has really stand out for years. The one thing that every investor in the market should notice before now, that for the past 25 years, this is a bank that grows its quarterly and full year results every year, even though it's just like you just said, positive 5 point. For consistently quarterly and yearly, they grow their performance. That has made them stand out. That is why they are the most profitable banks in Nigeria. And because of what their numbers. And already that people are saying why that this number is not reflecting on their price. Why is GTB having but for me, I think that the sentiment is gradually changing now. Like I said, that investment most times is perception. Now that people are seeing that numbers coming from Zenith Bank is becoming superb, and also from their third quarter result of earnings per share of 5 naira 7 kobo, and they pay 2 naira 50 kobo for 2019. If they decide to pay 2 naira 50 kobo from this, and that means paying 50% of this, we have not seen the full year result. That means at the end of the year, we already forecast their full year earnings to be around 6 naira 78 kobo. If they come and they are paying you 250, it's a good one. If they decide to pay 3 naira, good, but I don't see them paying 3 naira because they have to be conservative.
Yeah, because when they pay 3 naira, they want us, you expect them to pay 3 naira next year. So of course they have to be very careful.
If they decide to maintain their 250, that is good. And also the stock is still around 24 naira something now, and that is more than 10% yield. And that is why the PFAs or the smart money are looking the way of such stock, because the yield here is about, if you know at 25 naira, that is 10%. Why you are putting down your money for a full year in treasury bill to get 0.15 for a whole year, and you are making 10% in less than 6 months, because already in November, entering December, between now and April, which is about just 5 months, you are making 10% yield, and also capital appreciation will be there. I think that is why smart money will always look the way of such stock. And also, if you look at the margin of safety in Zenith Bank, this is a company that has a book value per share of about 32 naira 94 kobo, and it's selling around 24 naira something. So your margin of safety there is high. That means you can see where the company is going, the bank is going. For me, it's a good stock to look the way of Zenith Bank. Really, they are consistent in dividend payment. All
right, let's go. First Bank, gross earnings was up by 5.14%. First Bank Q3 2020, profit after tax was up by 31.71. First Bank is
coming up.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up. I mean, they were able to grow their gross earning 439 billion. It's coming up. Although their profit after tax is still 16.
Which is even below that of UBA and other stuff. But they are coming up. The good thing that the bank is coming up, and the management has also doubled their effort in terms of risk management, which has also reflected on their non-performing loan, reducing drastically. It's a sign that the bank is heading somewhere. And also, they sold their investment in insurance, which is also going to impact on their bottom line at the end of the year. That also boosts their performance. But I see that First Bank coming up powerfully is okay. But at this point, we know that First Bank is not a good dividend-paying bank. And also, if you look at stock like UBA, I think the UBA will have more consistent dividend paying policy. That is, for me, investors should look at where they should pay their attention now. But for me, I look at stock like UBA, stock like Access Bank, GTB, Zenith Bank. Yeah, it's fine for dividend paying stock, but for capital appreciation, one can look the way of First Bank because it might rally up. And also, like what I said on this program, that you as an investor don't just invest and go and sleep. There are some moves you see that we call it insider trader, which NSC publish when you see an MD of a bank taking position in the bank, you should know that there's something he's saying before you buy. Like in First Bank, when the MD bought about 40 million units of the stock, you should give another. They have seen their numbers are going somewhere. And
but is that even allowed?
No, you made it known to the public. The exchange have to approve it. If I'm not managing a company, Can't me buy into the company?
Not before the results.
No. It needs to be before now. Before it's not a long time. It's not a long. It's just a long time. It's not because the real result is for. It's long, about 2 months ago, about 3 months ago.
Okay.
It's not. No. Where the market is well regulated now. Our market has become transparent. That is why you see.
Kind of trust you have.
No, that is why you see even that transparency has helped the event to build confidence in investors, because you need to let them know what is happening. Even when the director is buying, you let the public know. This way, that tells you that we are not doing the back, and that is why also if they want to release number, there's always a close period for those that are within the company. That so period you need to buy this stock because you are an insider. Either you have access to information, they will buy you for not buying that stock. This is a way to control insider. But when the insider didn't, you should know that I remember when Access Bank MD was selling Access Bank, when they are buying to acquire bank, is in Ghana or one of the African countries, he sold his position to like move to that. No, the market when they saw that it was so in overnight 2 days the stock dropped because if
someone in money needs to sell it, why should I?
But they didn't know why he was selling it, but he has reason. But when
it might not be because of the result.
Yeah, and when he was buying to who knows this guy is also buying, but he bought back. You know why? For me as an investor, don't just invest. Go and look at things that will drive the price of stock we are. That's why for me, for capital position, First Bank is good, but for dividend paying, UBA, Access, Zenith Bank, and GTB are okay for that.
Okay, briefly, let's talk about how to invest profitably in a changing market dynamics and recession. I don't see this recession lasting long, but then let's just talk briefly about how you can actually invest profitably.
Profitably, yeah. This time we know because it is the end of the year already, and the recession is already here. You don't need to say you are running away from it, and the market dynamics is changing as you just said. What you do, you look at sectors that are being favored by what is happening. Even when we say there is recession, some sectors are benefiting from the recession. So that you look at your portfolio and look at where you are. If these companies recession will also affect their performance, let me move. And that is why in Invest Data we did analysis to classify some stocks. We call them defensive stocks, stock that will lead recovery. That means if the market wants to change, stock that will lead recovery. These are stocks that as an investor, know the potential of this company. The potential of the company will guide you. That's why I said look at what sector. There are sectors that, whether there's recession or non-recession, their number will be good, and that number will impact on their price. And I will say that whether on the long run or short run, earnings performance has influence on equity prices. That means if the company is going to post a better number, you need to enter on time, so that when the number comes, and you can come out. And that is why there's only a force who will drive price. It's not only just economic policy. This 20% from the company performance is another thing that can drive price. That's why you need to look at. You have to look at the company, the sector that is being favored by government policy. You look at the companies that has also good performance that is consistent. That even the reception will not affect their performance. Another thing that you should look at is that what is the shareholding structure of this company? Because those companies that has a good shareholding structure, even when there is recession, the price of those stocks will not go down. But when a company has a large share and is porous, any small thing, the price can easily go down. These are things we look at to invest in this period. And also, we look at company year end. Because this period, we're saying that by God's grace, by first quarter of 2021, we'll be coming out of the recession. Which are companies by that first quarter, their result will be releasing in that first quarter. But you have companies that have December as year end, others have September. These are the things also you're looking at to invest profitably. Not just buying stock. I mentioned sector, company performance, look at the company year end, and also look at the shareholding structure of that company. If you have all this in mind, it can guide you to invest profitably in the years. And also, it's the time for you to also reposition your portfolio. Those sectors I said that are not doing where you are there, sell off. Don't say because, as I said, that stocks are no women that will marry. If these stocks are not doing well because of recession, sell them off, move to the next sector that is doing well. If you can do this successfully, but if you really want to get a video that have those stocks that I mentioned, those are defensive stocks, those stocks that will benefit from the pandemic was having now, those stocks that are selling at a low price that has upside potential, you can get our video and it will tell you the kind of stock that you should take. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Ambrose. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this brings us to the end of this segment, stock market segment. We'll be on break, and when we return, we go to sectorial segment where we talk about movie production. Case in point, how to be a movie producer. After the break, stay with us. We'll be right back. welcome back. It's still the Profit Point Show, and this is a sectorial segment. We're focusing on entertainment sector, case in point, movie production. Then drill it down to being a movie producer. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people, when they hear movie entertainment, there's the glitz and the glamour, so much money. But then let's air the business part of it, because behind every glitz and glamour, there is a business side to it. So I have in the studio Mr. Kenny Folarin Saint, a movie producer. How are you, Mr. Kenny?
Pretty good.
That's good. Good to hear.
Nice.
Thanks for coming on board. I was expecting someone.
Yeah, you mentioned
old.
earlier. You mentioned
It's
earlier.
not that you're young, but like old, like half native.
Like the veteran.
Thank you. Like
the
I've been in the
industry.
movie sector for like 120 years.
I
things
mean,
like that.
basically, if you've been on the movie block for say 6 years, I think you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. This is not a red carpet thing. So this is business.
Business,
right?
yeah.
How long have you been a movie producer?
6, 7 years.
6 years. Okay. How many movies have you produced?
Well, I do short movies a lot. Then I've done 2 feature-length movies, and I do lots of skits. I mean, I have a YouTube channel with volume of skits.
Subscribers, okay.
Yeah, subscribers. Yes, I have like 10,000 plus subscribers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So, movie producer, I know when it comes to movie production, we have a lot of people, professionals that actually come together to actually make just one movie, from the director, the producer,
Down the line.
DOP. There's so many, not talk of the actresses and the actors, wardrobe, makeup, but we're focusing on the movie producer.
Yeah,
First off,
okay.
what is the difference between an executive producer and the producer?
The producer himself. Okay. In any movie production, the producer can actually be the executive producer also.
Okay.
Yeah. But sometimes I can, perhaps I'm not a movie producer. I can have an idea, then probably watch a movie and like how it's being coordinated and produced, and probably put a call through to the producer that I have a story. It could be a personal story. It could be something that I just cook up in my brain. And okay, let's get a script organizer. So once they are done compiling all this, then me, being the storyteller, I can say, okay, how much is it going to cost for us to foot the bills of this production? That makes me the executive producer.
Because you're the one bringing the money.
Because I'm bringing the money to the table.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So the producer takes it because they are in the business. They're going to oversee the production right from the development stage to the post-production to, till it gets to the market.
Okay, so if I want to define a producer,
okay,
what does it do? A movie set, typical movie set. Run me through it.
Okay.
What does a producer do?
A movie producer, they oversee, they make sure that it's like seeing the project to be success.
Okay.
Yeah, because as you said the other time, there's an hierarchy. It goes through a line till it gets to the stream, to the people that would digest it. So the movie producer makes sure that, okay, we have a script, we get it done professionally, then after which, that's the developmental stage. Then after that, you probably call the director and what have you, the director of photography also, that's the person that handles the camera, brings them on board. Okay, this is the story. They do some planning. The DOP writes the shot or plans the shot and all. So, after which they get locations, and the movie producer is involved in every aspect of the production, even down to welfare and makeup and
getting the artist and editing.
Yes,
so he's basically like the general manager.
Yeah.
While the executive producer is the owner of the business.
Most of them don't even know how it's being run.
Just give me the money, just
yeah.
give me back my money.
Yeah, how much am I putting in,
it.
how much am I making back?
That's interesting.
That's
so
it.
if I want to be a producer, that's just take I'm just assuming.
Okay.
I don't think I want to be a producer.
Okay.
I don't have patience for putting people together now. But if somebody wants to be a producer,
To become one.
how do you become a producer? Do you have to go to a school for it? I don't know if you have schools like that here in Nigeria, or do I need to come and learn at the feet of the master to learn and to get experience? How do I go about being a movie producer?
Okay, I think our own part of the hemisphere in the world, in context, is quite different from the way they do it out there.
Okay.
Yeah, because like if you are in, okay, let's take Abeokuta for example. If you want to be a movie producer, you probably have to get a form with some film bodies. Yeah, get a form with some film bodies, and it's not just with a film body. You have to have a particular master. Yeah,
Masters and okay, when you say master, like someone you're learning.
yeah, somebody that you have to
okay.
you have to be under,
Under.
for a duration of time, after which you get a certificate.
Oh,
You know,
so
because
you need to have a certificate to be a producer?
Well, the certificate is for those that go there to learn under masters. You know, they have to issue certificate because you pay before you get registered and all. Yeah, but you see, for like for me, I started from Lagos. I started with a studio, and we were basically into documentaries and adverts and all. So later I developed that inclination for filmmaking. So what I did, I started following some mentors in the industry. And I followed them to locations. Jide Moronfolu is based in Canada now. Then there's another man, DGN, is in Canada also. That's Simple Film. I mean, these are like gurus in the Nollywood industry. Yeah. Then there is Yinka Akonbitu in the industry. So basically, I was following all these people, not like they were masters, because I could edit.
Okay.
So I just needed to get involved. I needed to know about every other aspect that involves in filmmaking, like the directing, like handling cameras, you know, then what have you.
Okay, so if you have to recommend the duration of training, is there a particular duration that you can say, okay, if you do it for 6 months, you do it for 1 year, or you just keep on doing it until you believe or your master tells you that you're okay, you can now get your freedom and go?
Okay, now you know that there are actors and actresses that are not producers.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you go to those people, depends on what you want to learn. You know, some people are actors; they just want to learn how to act. I have people that will never produce a movie, though they know about it, but it's probably not their call. They will tell you, no, that's not what I want to do. They just want to be on set all the time. Because you see producers that have never been on set, that have never been, you know, that have never acted before. Producers that have never acted before, yeah. But the fact is, they just want to be producers. So if you are with these people, you learn virtually every aspect of filmmaking. You know, acting, basically acting. Then production is secondary, because they are actors, but they are producers too. So you must learn how to act.
Okay.
So production comes along the line, because when you're following them to locations, you'll definitely know that, okay, this is how we produce. So under some 2-3 years, you should be able to start producing your own work. Because most of all these actors and actresses, once they are done with their masters, they the masters basically just tell them, go look for some small fund, let us help you produce your own movie. So I know a couple of them, once they are done, you see them, you know, renting cameras and trying to produce their own first movies.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, you made mention that you do skates and all that.
Okay.
Now I don't want to take you as like focusing basically on you. When it comes to production, is it only limited to filmmaking, or you can be a producer without having to focus on movies?
Yeah, sure.
What other aspect of production is a producer necessary or needed aside movie making?
It's all content making.
Okay.
Yeah. When you do documentary, it's a production. When you do music video, I shoot music video, it's a production. I manage artists like musicians, and when I do that, I make sure that when they have like a major show or they want to do something that has to do with media, you know, I script it, and I have my guys go there, shoot their shots, and bring it back to the studio, and we edit it. It's a production also. Everything involves planning.
Okay. Okay. A lot of people believe that movie making, when you I'm a producer, oh my God, you're a producer. You know, there's just this, oh, I'm an artist. Like you guys are just lounging and just, man, I please, I want to be. How glamorous is this life? Or shall I flip it and say, what are the challenges there? Is it so easy when it comes to the job? Now, I'm not talking of the accolade that you get on social media or when you work on the streets.
Yeah.
What are the challenges of this, being a movie producer?
It's not easy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. I know people that will follow me to some film set, and when they let's assume that you're shooting a movie with one camera, and you know by modality in directing you have to take different shots. You take the close, you take the master and all, you know, and then you have to do everything you did you have to do the same thing in one shot in every other shot, you know. So when you see new people or like a novice see you do all those things, and then maybe the continuity probably says stop. The other time you mentioned her name, you did not raise up your hand, or your hand was not touching your, you know, then people will start wondering that, this is stressful, though. You understand? So it can be quite stressful when you are doing this job. It can be quite stressful. I don't, you know, like the Yorubas will say, ere. It's a real big deal. Yeah, it's a real big deal. And of course, there is so much glamour, so much attention, you know, from outside people. I'm sorry, from people that are not in the circle. Yeah, and of course they don't know what it takes to be us, because it's really not easy to be us. You know, I'm not at that stage where I can no longer go to places and be free, you know. But I know of bosses, I know of guys that are already into it, that they cannot even go out. You can't just go to you can't
just buy granite by the roadside.
You understand? You can't just park your vehicle and say, let me cross to the other side and buy something. And that can be frustrating, honestly, until you get to their shoes or to that stage. You realize how frustrating it could be when you are not free. You know, then some people just want to collect money from you.
Because they assume that you have it.
Yeah, because they conclude that you have it.
Don't you have it? All right. How profitable is the business?
It has grade. It has level.
Okay.
Yeah, it has level. You know, there are big film production companies like Disney in America. You know, they shoot one movie and they gross like 2-point-something billion.
Let's
and
come back to your hair.
You start wondering, you start wondering so much.
If you also look at Disney and look at how much they're also putting into
the movie,
it's a lot too.
Yes, of course.
It's a lot too.
Of course. Okay, let's come to our own level. It's getting better. It's getting better. I must confess, my own time when I basically started was the time when you did all this marketing, like you have to reach out to a marketer to
they were dictating the price.
Thank you. They were on top of the game. You know, my own time was the time when that particular scenario was facing out. Okay. You know, so it was a time where we had to start tapping into other ideas of how to make money, and I think it's better than when you go start going after some marketers to buy your movie from you. And sometimes when they buy it, I know producers that when they finally get to sell their movies to a marketer, they don't even get the whole cash at once.
Nothing you can do about
and there's nothing, you know. So later they start running after all those people, and that can just spoil business. Because imagine if you borrow money and to shoot a production.
All right. Let's go to funding. I know executive producers, they are the one that brings the money.
Sure.
Yeah. It could be individual, it could be studio, it could be company, right? But as a producer, it could be group. As a producer, you will have to get the people that will give you the fund to do it.
Yeah.
That's if you're not wearing the same cap as the executive producer. So how do you guys look for business? As a producer, you want to produce something, and you are not the executive producer. So how do you actually look for business? Because every business you have to have a way of doing marketing.
Sure.
So how do you market to get fund for your project?
Okay. Like now, for someone like me, I try to reach out to other filmmakers.
Okay.
You know, like the norm in our society when it comes to filmmaking, most of them just want to be like individual producer. If you notice, when wedding party or so, when it was shot, different people came together and they made so much money. They made so much money. So the idea is you must shall be able to trust people enough to bring them on board and, you know, make exploits together. Because if you do it alone, you know, you bear the risk alone, you bear the loss alone, you bear everything alone, and there could be losses. There could be losses. There could be flaws and flops at the box office. It is very, very possible. But you know, when you're able to, when you know your onions and people believe in what you bring into the table, it happens in America too. If you have a movie, you take it to all those big industries, and they look at it. That's why you see Disney in conjunction with so production, in conjunction like 4 or 5 bodies coming together just to shoot one movie. You know, so I think once we get to that stage in Nigeria, it will be bringing beautiful production, and not just I have 700,000 naira. How can I manage this to shoot a movie? You know, it's so outrageous when some people abroad hear how much
700,000.
How much we use for production.
That's less than 2,000
in Nigeria. Yeah.
Doesn't even pay an artist.
You understand over there.
All right, we have a few minutes to go,
Okay.
and this is because you're a movie producer. There are a lot of gist that producers, and I'm looking at sexual harassment
Okay.
side. When you talk to many of upcomings, they will tell you that producers, they want to exchange for them to
For them
play the role.
to
They want
play.
sexual
Yeah.
advances. What do you have to say to, after you're a producer? What do you have to say to that? So if I come to you, will you, okay, of course you won't say it on here, but what do you have to say to that? Do you think many producers do that, or do you think these people, I'm talking of upcoming, are actually the one putting up themselves?
It's a two-way thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it can be either way. Yeah, it can be either way. But honestly speaking, I think this thing cuts across all industry and occupation and company and whatever. I think it's just everywhere. Yeah, I think it's everywhere. You know, the only reason why that of the film industry is overblown is because you know, you're a producer, you're popular, and then there's a lady you find her attractive, and you're probably promising her that you can make her popular.
But why would you even do that? I mean, should you be dating your staff, if I can put it like that?
Yeah, well,
Because it's not a case of, is she even qualified for the role, or you're giving her the role because she's qualified in the bedroom? Yeah.
yes.
It's like you're already dousing the integrity of the production
Of the
itself. So
production.
anyway they can offer it to you, become someone that can act. Or does it also boil down to the fact that many of our artists, and I'm not talking of female or male, it's just a case of, I know somebody that is making my movie, stand there and just say this. It's not a case of there is a training you have to go, there is a school, you have this qualification. Anybody that knows how to read scripts automatically just becomes an artist. So if 1 million of us are there and we can all speak English or speak Yoruba or whatever language, right? So it's a case of who can service the producer more? We take the role.
Sure.
So I'm just wondering, where do you think this problem actually, what's causing this problem really?
I think it's a personal thing. I think it's a personal thing because if we have 10 producers, I'm sure the whole thing might not have the same
Perception.
and orientation as such. And those that are like that are like that. And
But you're not like that, right?
Of course.
All right,
Of
of course.
I'm
What
not
do
like
I
that.
expect you to say?
That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what you're going to say. All right, thank you, Mr. Kenny Stain.
Most welcome.
Which other project are you working on now?
Oh, I just shot a short movie.
Okay.
I just shot a short movie.
Where's it showing?
I intend to send it to international film festivals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's another way to actually get known on the global market.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're
Thanks for
most
coming on
welcome.
board.
You're most
All right,
welcome.
this brings us to the end of the show, Profit Point Show. The show returns same time next week, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12. Thanks for watching us. And remember to stay safe. Coronavirus is still out there. And do enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.